new unit, we will understand about pattern and molds. Pattern is the core element of a casting process, whereas mold is the actual equipment of casting. So let's begin with pattern itself. A pattern, like I told you before, is an element used for making cavities in the mold. And inside these cavities, molten metal is poured to produce a desired outcome, a desired casting. However, it is not an exact replica of the casting desired. It is slightly larger. And this is due to various allowances like shrinkage allowance, machining allowance, core print, draft, shake, and many more. It is made larger in size than the casting itself, so that the riser that we have discussed, a reservoir which counters these allowances, can act and provide the relevant amount of molten metal that is required to counter the allowances. Now let's understand the types of pattern material. In general, these 5 types are used in casting process: wood, metal, plastic, wax, and mercury. Let's discuss the pros and cons of each and every types of pattern material in detail. First we have the wooden pattern. The wooden pattern should contain more than 10% of moisture in order to avoid warping and distortion during the subsequent drying. The advantage of wooden pattern would be its lightweight, its cost effectiveness, its good workability. We can easily glue and join wooden patterns. We can apply varnishes and paints easily, and they can be easily repaired as well. However, there are certain disadvantages as well. They have non-uniform structure that is inherent. They have poor wear resistance, poor abrasion resistance, and we cannot roughly handle them. We have to handle them with care. However, a wooden pattern is selected with care, that is, not having 10% moisture. Still, the wooden pattern gives off moisture and breaches this limit, and hence seasoning is a mandatory. Seasoning is nothing but drying of the wood in a kiln. The product that is obtained is known as a kiln dried timber or lumber. Next we have a metal pattern. A metal pattern can be either cast from a master wooden pattern, just we have discussed earlier, or it can be machined by traditional and modern machining processes. This kind of pattern are mostly used in casting. Almost 70% of the casting is based upon metal patterns. And again, I am repeating, the pattern is the one that creates the cavity inside which molten metal is poured. And hence, after solidification, we get our desired casted component, that is our outcome. Every now and then, I will repeat the process so that you will burn it in your mind. Now let's understand the advantages and disadvantages of metal pattern. See, a metal pattern is more durable than wood. They have size accuracy, smoother surface, they do not deform in storage, they have good resistance to wear and abrasion, and we can roughly handle them. However, they are expensive and not easily repairable as compared to the wooden pattern, and they are heavier also. And then there is the most important disadvantage of metal pattern: rusting. This is prone to ferrous pattern. Ferrous pattern materials, ferrous patterns are prone to rusting. The metal patterns are of four types basically of cast iron, brass, aluminium, and white metal, in which cast iron has low corrosion resistance unless they are protected. They are heavier and difficult to work, but they are cheaper and more durable than any other metal pattern material. Then we have the brass. This brass can be easily worked and built up by soldering or brazing. It has smooth, closed pore structure. However, they are expensive and generally used for small casting components. Then we have aluminium. It is the best pattern material till date. They can be cast easily, they have low melting point, and they are light in weight and can be built up by soldering process. However, they are subjected to wear and tear by abrasive action of sand. And last but not the least, we have the white metal. White metal has low shrinkage. They can be cast easily and also, similar to aluminium, they have low melting point. They are light in weight and they can also be built up by soldering. But they are also subjected to wear by abrasive action of sand. Next we have a plastic pattern. Plastic patterns are generally used for production of materials like plastic bottles. So basically plastic components are created by plastic patterns. They facilitate the production process. They are more economical. They are highly resistant to corrosion. Or one can say no corrosion. The molding sand sticks less to plastic as compared to wood. There is no moisture absorption. They have smooth surface. They are lighter and stronger than wood. And most importantly, they are dimensionally stable. However, being so much suitable for casting process, for making a cavity inside a molding sand, they are still not used as frequently as the metal patterns. Then we have wax. These wax patterns are very easy to change the shape. Very complicated patterns can be made and hence the corresponding casting component. They are easily to be removed because for removing a wax pattern you just simply needed to heat the mold and the wax pattern will remain in the cavity easily. The surface of pattern material, that is the wax, is very much smooth and hence the cavity generated will have a smooth surface finish and hence the casted component will have a good surface finish in turn. And last but not the least, we have the mercury pattern. Mercury, despite being poisonous, costly and have very high density, is sometimes used in casting processes. However, their usage is very rare. The reason behind the uses of mercury is its exceptional surface finish generation. However, it is required to be freeze while preparing the pattern from it.